G'day, AJ Mahara here, and in this video I want to respond to a comment on the channel to help hopefully the commenter and others. Just give me a second here. Just need to make it a tad bigger because these glasses are just for a different distance. Okay, so this comment was left on the video I did, I don't know when, 4 months ago or something. I don't know. Borderlines and non-borderlines, absolute disconnect. On that video, a commenter says, "Thanks for your work. It's really useful. I'm glad to hear that, and you're welcome." And then the commenter said, "My question is there any moment when BPD," okay, English isn't their first language, they've admitted, so, is there any moment where the person with BPD is happy? Maybe in idealization, question mark. I just got to scroll down here. Sorry about that. Or when they have casual sex, cheating, abusing substances. The English is a problem here. I suppose at least stop the boredom, emptiness, or pain. Are people with BPD ever happy? And are they happy in idealization? Because let's stick to a focus on people with untreated BPD. Are they ever happy? Well, you know, they're not all the same. And there are lots of men with BPD and lots of women with BPD. And not all of them are the same, and not all men with BPD are the same, not all women with BPD are the same. Some people with BPD might experience some happiness from time to time, untreated I'm talking about, because they're maybe less severely impacted. So there's a possibility due to individual variances, right, that some people with BPD might get happy once in a while, just in general. Are they happy in idealization? I don't think we can know 100% for everybody with BPD. Is the average untreated person with BPD happy in idealization? They might think so, but are they genuinely happy? Not really, because they have a real dichotomous way of thinking and experiencing life. All black, all white, right? In absolutes. So even when you think that they were happy in idealization, they're often really not really feeling happiness. They may be seemingly happy, and some may feel happiness. But no, there's no real correlation or equation that because somebody with untreated BPD is idealizing someone, that equates to internal experience of happiness. And then the commenter also asked, or when they have casual sex, cheating or abusing substances, or at least to stop the boredom, emptiness. Okay, well, that's a different question, so just a second. So, or when they have casual sex or they cheat, does that mean that the person with BPD is happy? No, not at all. Untreated people with BPD just don't really know happiness in general. So whether they're having casual sex, or very intense sex, or the sex of idealization, or they're cheating, it doesn't make them happy. But they can look like they're happier because they're trying to lot it over you often. And then they hit the social media with the pictures and stuff. If they, monkey branch to someone else or go off to someone else, and then you decide to let them hoover you back. But no, it doesn't make them happy. And more to the point, there's all kinds of other internal dysregulation and pain that is in an unconscious way driving what people with BPD, how they behave. But really none of it is geared toward actual happiness. They might be seeking happiness. They might feel like they're happy, but really essentially people with BPD have untreated have an extreme negative, pessimistic, distrustful lens that they see life through, that they experience life through, which is, very painful for them. So they can look happy sometimes, and maybe this is where the question comes from. But again, I would just caution people that when an ex or a person with BPD does A, B, C, whatever, and or you're betrayed, it doesn't mean they're happy. They might be trying to look happy and make it like they're happy, but it doesn't mean internally they're really happy. Again, people can't know from the outside what they're really feeling on the inside. And then the other question was, I guess, are they happy when they abuse substances, or when they stop boredom and emptiness or pain? I guess by abusing substances? No. It's straight up no. Untreated people with BPD or people who don't have BPD that abuse substances feel like people with codependency can abuse substances, and so can a wide swath of the population, but I'm just saying. And also, they can feel emptiness and boredom, emptiness and pain. So when people with BPD are feeling boredom, it's hard to describe the feeling of emptiness because not all people with BPD experience that. But again, the loss of self, and so anyway, throughout all these, what the commenter asked, anybody who starts using substances, abusing them, is not a happy person, right? Whether they have untreated BPD, whether they are codependent, whether they have some other issue or diagnosis. So, no, abusing substances doesn't make people with BPD happy, nor does taking the substances to ease boredom or pain. The whole thing is a cycle of denial, deflection, dissociation, trying to escape pain. But that doesn't equate or correlate to people with this kind of woundedness, untreated, being happy. So most people with BPD untreated are not happy. Their lens is negative. I mean, most people, again, I can't say all. Most people, men and women with BPD untreated, the lens is highly insecure, very shame and fear-based, very traumatized, very fearful, feeling very less than, no matter how they behave at times. And so they are not happy. They have a negative, distrustful, dichotomous, in absolute terms experience of life. And they're trying to navigate life without a self, and there's no happiness in that. Now, people that get into treatment for BPD and stick with it, get significant treatment and beyond to healing and recovery, happiness is something they can start to realize. But they first have to find themselves, and they first have to understand more in the consciousness about why they are feeling and seeing things in dichotomous, negative, distrustful ways. So it takes substantial therapy. But for the untreated person with BPD, no, they're not happy in any of those circumstances. And more to the point, all of their actions and all of their best intentions and all of their behaviors are really, maybe they're trying to be happy. Maybe they're trying to feel better. Maybe they're trying to escape their pain. There's all kinds of different motivations. But BPD is just untreated, is just not correlated with happiness at all, really. So could somebody have a sense of humor and sometimes laugh, enjoy, a comedian or something? Maybe. But happiness and what that really truly means in the healthiest sense of it, no, people with BPD most people with untreated BPD do not know happiness, which is a really sad and painful reality for many people, most with untreated BPD. So I hope that answers the commenter's questions. And so just know that they have a way, many untreated borderlines, not all, monkey branching, cheating. They don't all do this, by the way, but the ones that do, then they have a way of splashing on social media, etc., and they look real happy. And more to the point, how they look doesn't say anything about what they're really still struggling with and feeling inside, which is still that negative, distrustful, wounded kind of lens and dichotomous. And the other thing is, the more that you've been betrayed by somebody with BPD untreated, and they look happier when they're doing untoward things or things to escape their pain, or betraying things like monkey branching and cheating, there's two things that are going on there for people. One is that they look and they try to project that they're happy because they're trying to punish and hurt you some more. Because they feel abandoned by you even when they abandon you. And so it goes deeper into what's really going on with what BPD really is all about. So, and the other thing was, what was the other thing? Yes, so they can look happy, they can act happy, they can splash stuff all over social media. And so that looks like they're happy to you. And it doesn't speak to their internal reality, though. And the other thing is, and you're hurting tremendously. And so either way you look at it, what it appears to be is extra traumatizing, right? But what it appears to be is rarely what it actually is internally inside the person with BPD. And idealization is not correlated with really, and I'm speaking internally again, with people with BPD untreated being happy. They may feel happy. They may seem to be, different, obviously, in that phase, and the idealization and honeymoon phase. So they may seem to be a little bit lighter emotionally than they really are. But they're trying their best to hide that until they can't anymore. And then inevitably they're going to be triggered to devaluation. And then the roller coaster ride starts at the very least, if not an outright discard. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that answered the commenter, and maybe some other people were wondering similar things. So take care.